Title tag optimization is kind of tricky because on one hand, it's a little bit science, and on the other hand, it's a little bit art. And it's one of the remaining technical SEO things that Google is still really looking at. So there are portions of it where we really need to pay attention and we actually have to follow some sort of rule. And on the other side, we actually need to do a little bit of editorializing and writing good marketing copy. So before we even dive into it, let's figure out and get a sense of what a title tag is. So when you go into Google search, a title tag is any of these, any of the blue links here. Purple, if you've already clicked on them like I have, these are all title tags. Another way to find them, if you actually go into the website and you hover over the tab right here, you're going to see title tag here is the 11 best places to live in Mexico for expats, pipe, which is a separator, and then the brand name. Okay, so why do these things matter? Well, in a direct way, they matter because it's still a technical SEO signal that tells Google what an entire page is about. So in this instance, you can see the 11 best places to live in Mexico. What this is doing is it's telling Google that this entire page is about the best places to live in Mexico. The second thing is RankBrain. So what's happening here is Google is taking a look at where you're ranking for that particular keyword, and it's determining what your expected click-through rate should be. And if you're higher than your expected click-through rate, then you're going to move up in positions. If you're lower than your expected click-through rate, you're going to move down in positions. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So if you've got 4 results here, we're just going to pretend these are results 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one gets 2,100 clicks per month. Second one gets 56 clicks per month. Third gets 1654, and the fourth gets 1431. This piece of content in the middle, the 56 clicks, is getting fewer clicks than any of the competitors around it, and fewer than its expected click-through rate. So what Google's going to do is it's going to say, well, for whatever reason, this particular piece of content is not getting the amount of clicks it should get for position 2. So what it's going to do is it's going to move it down and it's going to try it in a new position and see if it gets the expected click-through rate for that new position. If it does, it'll stay there. If it gets higher, it'll get moved up and it'll get another test in another position. So in this instance, this piece of content is going to move down. Now, how does this happen? How is it that some pieces of content are getting more clicks than others? Well, a large portion of that is how well written your title tag is. So when I was talking about the art part of it, like the editorializing part of it, you actually need to have a really nicely written piece of marketing copy here that uses your keyword that people are actually going to click on. If people click on it more often than your competitors, you'll move up. If people click on it less often than your competitors, you're going to move down. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to figure out how to format our title tags properly. And this is fortunately really, really easy. There's only 2 ways to format a title tag, one for the homepage and one for literally any other page on the site. So for the homepage, what you're going to do is you're going to put your brand name first, and then you're going to put that little separator, which is a pipe in this instance, and then the title of your page, which is going to be the title tag. Any other page on the site is going to be the title of the page, the little separator, and then your brand name. That's it. That's how you format a title tag. And you might be wondering, what is this separator thing? Well, it's any of these things. You've seen a lot of them before. It could be that pipe. It could be the colon. It could be the dash. There's actually, I think, maybe about 20 different variations of this. It doesn't really matter. All it's doing is it's telling Google, here's the name of the brand, and here's the title of the page, and I'm using this separator to tell you which is which. That's it. The only advice I have for you is to do good housekeeping, have good hygiene with these things, and make sure it's consistent across your entire website so that it's not completely different for every single page that everybody's looking at. Next thing is we want to use the keyword in the title tag. So if I'm targeting the keyword best places to live in Mexico, I'm going to want to make sure that I incorporate that exactly the way it is somewhere in the title tag. And you see that I've done that, and I've added an editorial component to it where I've put top 10 best places to live in Mexico. There's my keyword that I'm trying to rank for in 2023. Very, very simple. Step 2 is just take your exact keyword and put it in the title tag. Third thing is you should investigate SERPs and figure out what people are clicking on. So when we're talking about RankBrain, what RankBrain is doing is, as I mentioned before, is it's constantly evaluating what people are clicking on more often than other things. And the things that are getting more clicks, that are getting a disproportionate amount of clicks given their position, are going to be given an opportunity higher in search to get more clicks and to see how it performs there. So what you're looking at right now is the result of a constantly running algorithm. And what this algorithm is telling us is that this piece of content at the top is likely getting the highest click-through rate than anything else on the web. So this should tell you that there's something about this title tag. There's a lot of other components happening that's determining what puts it in position 1, sure, but it should tell you in general that this title tag is doing a really good job of getting clicks. So you should use this as a guide or some sort of indicator as to how to create your own title tag. So let's just do that. All we're going to do is we're going to audit the title tags on page 1 because mathematically, this is telling us what people are liking to click on the most often. So the first one, 5 best places to live in Mexico. Okay, so we see the exact match keyword is in the title tag, best places to live in Mexico. There's a numbered list, and then we see the separator and then the name of the brand. Okay, cool. So we'll log that. Go to the next one. Best places to live in Mexico as a U.S. expat. Okay, we can see again, this is the exact match keyword. You can see this was published just this year. That might be an important thing. Okay, we'll keep that in the back of our mind. The next one here, also published this year. These are the best places to live in Mexico. Okay, again, exact match keyword in the title as a U.S. expat. All right, so starting to take notice of these top 3 results. You can see U.S. expat is in 2 of them. You can see 2 of them were published this year, and all 3 of them have the exact match keyword in them. Let's go to the next one. Top 11 best places to live in Mexico for expats. That's the 3rd expat article. That's the 2nd article that has a numbered list. It's 11 in this one. We don't know when it was published. Next one, 11 best places to live in Mexico, exact match keyword, updated 2022. And let's just do the next couple ones. 13 best places to live in Mexico, Be My Travel Muse. And then 12 best places to live in Mexico, exact match again. And then the last 2, the best places to live in Mexico in 2022. We got another date here. And then the last one, best places to live in Mexico, Nomad list. Okay, so what we know about these title tags that are ranking on page 1 is 100% of them are using the exact match keyword that you're trying to rank for. We should do that. We would be stupid to not do that. The next thing we know is a few of these were updated just this year, and one of them actually has the year in the title tag. That might be important. So I'm going to consider that when writing my title tag. The next thing that we should consider is that a lot of these are a numbered list. So you can see this one is 12, 13, 11, and 5. So I'm probably going to consider that. And what I want to do is I want to take all of the components, all of the very best components that I'm seeing here that might entice someone to click, and incorporate that into using the exact keyword in my title tag. So maybe what I'm going to write is something like this. I'm going to say the top 11 best places to live in Mexico, and that is the exact keyword match, right? And then I saw that the intent here is probably for expats, because we saw that in at least 3 of these for expats in 2023. So we've done 2 awesome things here. First, we've used the exact keyword in the title tag, and we've also used a little bit of SERP discovery, and we've used some basic proportions. We've looked at what proportion of SERPs is using a list, what proportion is using a year, and what proportion is using this component, the expats, and incorporated that all into one Frankenstein title tag, which uses everything that people are clicking on. So in theory, we may have created a better title tag than anything on page 1, or a more clickable title tag than anything on page 1. Okay, so now the last thing that we need to do is we need to take this title tag and test it. We need to see what it's going to look like in search so that we don't have it get cut off. If it's too long, it's going to get cut off in search. It's not going to look good, and it's going to lower your click-through rate. And this is how I'm going to put it in. You just go into your SEO title, and I'm going to type it in exactly the way I want it, just like that. And you can see it's going to give me a preview here as well. And I'm going to do the desktop preview. This looks perfect. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to custom write a basic meta description. It's 156 characters. I'm going to hit publish, and boom, you've got a perfect title tag that's used your keyword in it, satisfy the technical elements. You're probably going to be satisfying RankBrain by creating the most clickable title tag in search results, and ideally, you're going to get the highest click-through rate and rank the highest for this keyword. And that's it. You've created a perfect title tag. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. Helps me out a ton, and it helps me create more of these videos.